is the AirMech servers. Oh, but the game has started just in time, so we will start up again. Nice, cool, OP new loading screen, and this it says loading Vale. Obviously, it's not going to be Vale. It's going to be Twin Peaks, but it will be again Gundem and Sporefreak versus Sporicle and Housekeeping. Team Fabulous Someone versus Team Drunks in action. And Gundem is going with Samson, which does give you a units buff. It never really has been a meta choice to go with Samson, which is a little bit interesting, because units, this game is so unit centric. But what it pretty much boiled down to in the past is that the buffs that Samson gives you are really not enough to justify not bringing a mech buffing, a mech buffing pilot. So that's kind of that's kind of the reason why you don't really see Husky and Chimney Swift and Samson really used too much, even though they're more focused on the units. The difference it makes is really not enough to justify not bringing something that'll make your mech better, because the mech is such a big part of the game. And it does look like it is going to be the same thing. But, ooh, that's interesting. Red team not going for top this time. Both. Oh, and we do have a kind of a double cheese. Or what is Sporicle? Sporicle just trying to go for a neutralization right away. Brings Gundam back. Allows Housekeeping to continue working on these bottom units, while these bottom units are being just softened up by artillery. But it does cost Sporicle his life on the way back. Did not retreat fast enough. And at this point, we do have Housekeeping trying to fend away two red mechs. Does save his moneymaker, but we do have a dillo drop right in the corner. The corners have been changed recently to from double damage to lower armor. So right now, I think it has a negative 60 armor. Not negative, but it has a 60 less armor than the rest of the fort. I really don't know how much armor the rest of the fort has. it's high though. So one tactic that you will see in recently, or I guess that you have seen recently, is people trying to drop stuff like Jokers or Sentry Turrets or Jackals or Zippers or any light attack units at those corners to do, to maximize the damage at very little cost. And we do have Sporefreak doing another flyby. Does see that there is a lot of units clumped up over here. No Seekers to fend him off. But he doesn't really need the Seekers, just because there are two mechs over here to just shoot at it, and or to shoot at any mechs that come over. You do have Sporefreak bombing, but Sporicle wasn't there. Now does bring a Seeker down, and Red Team has not really started their bottom fight yet that much. They're just clumping up tanks right here. I'm not really sure if they're planning on just doing a mass send to bottom to take that bottom. It definitely will work, but it will probably be much more costly than doing a nice methodical approach like the green team is doing right now. As you can see, they have already taken that bottom outpost, and they can start working on these on the neutrals and stuff over here on this side. Whereas Red now finally sending out their tanks. So let's see how this is actually going to work for them. Does look like the green team is starting to move out a little bit, kind of helping out the red team in neutralizing this bottom outpost. And the tanks are still moving out. Oh, they were set on attack and not capture. They will be softened up by the mines. They really need to switch them to T. A set to capture would have been way better. Okay, they have switched into T, but a couple of the tanks are moving to this right outpost because they don't have enough waypoints to take the left one. The red team now has that bottom left outpost under the control, but the green team with such a better unit cluster, such better unit positioning at this point for this bottom fight. The red team really needs to start pulling back, start their artillery war, and yeah, start getting much better defenses up. And at this point, we do have the green team. Okay, it's actually pretty much even in upkeep. It was 41 to 41 just a minute ago, or just a second ago. And it does look like Housekeeping going to take a Gemini. Going to try to go for the neutralization here. I don't know how productive that's going to be. And he will lose the Gemini, so that's... Okay, I would definitely say that's wasted credits. Does look like Sporcle is doing a little bit of bombing. Does get away, as none of the mechs were in the area to focus him down. There's only one Seeker in this area, right? No, there's two. There's two. These two right here clumped up right next together. But we do have Housekeeping with a Flamer drop. He will be able to get this neutralization. Will deny Red of credits for a little bit. Oh, man, will this go under the control? No, the Flamer walks all the way around. Will the bulb be knocked down? Yes, the bulb gets knocked down before that last Flamer. I'm not really sure why the hell it decided to walk all the way around here, but the reason is pretty much creeps are dumb and infantry are dumb, like really dumb, and they just tend to walk in circles. Everybody knows what I'm talking about. Come on, guys, you creeps suck. You guys know infantry are freaking dumb, but they are still going for this outpost grab and neutralizing it as much as they possibly can. But the question is, will the credit income stoppage there equal the difference in Flamer cost? The green team is definitely not going to be able to get this under control, but the red team doesn't really have that many defenses over there. So if the green team did a coordinated drop, they could probably take it under their control, and drop a couple of units in defense, and it will see, as you can see, the blue team, or the green team, the red team is a little bit under their unit cap, and now it did go up to 60 because they were finally able to take that under the control. And the generator down on the field for the red team. That's why you see the maximum upkeep difference of 61 to 51 there at the top. And what we do have now is the green team still pushing up on this bottom. And there's quite a massive unit clump over here. Does anybody have Berthas? Yes, the Housekeeping does have Berthas. My recommendation at this point, oh, they even have 2 jammers out on the field to definitely make sure if one gets killed, then they don't really have to worry about the artillery splash. But at this point, there's only 2 Archies facing their unit cluster, so it's not super threatening. Housekeeping does need to get out some Berthas, and one is coming out in less than 10 seconds. We will see a Bertha out on the field. Are there goalies? There are no goalies out on the field for the green team, so the red team could kind of push, but the majority of the green team's units are tanks with healing units in support, so that's definitely a good thing for them. So if they move out, if the red team moves out, it's not really going to be that productive. They do have a lot of AA and a lot of credits and upkeep invested in artillery as well. And Seekers, but Sporicle with a Gemini drop here at the corner. Will the red team come back to respond to this? Sporefreak and Gundem. Now Gundem does come back. Oh no, Gundem has not responded yet. As the Helix, usually the the Helix does come back to respond, but Sporefreak now is coming back, but it will allow the green team to do a little bit of extra damage over here. As you saw earlier, that Sporicle was bombing. He did get killed by an Archie. Whoa, he got killed by an Archie. That's a little hilarious. I'm really sad that he didn't get to catch that because the only way an Archie can kill you is either you're standing next to the units and the splash damage hits you, or you get hit in the air, because this is actually a 3D game and these artillery actually shooting up. So flying AirMechs can actually get hit by artillery. We do have Sporefreak with a counter Gemini drop. I don't know if you can really call it counter. Oh, did he set it on attack? It does look like one cannon is hitting the corner and one cannon is hitting the moneymaker. So it's kind of best of both worlds at this point. And the green team will not hear the damage sound until the lunchbox shield gets penetrated. But at this point, the red team is kind of winning this fight. It's 59 to 33. The green team is really behind in this fight. One hat is up, or a lot of hats are up for the green team. I kind of sort of would attribute it to that because they don't have that many credits, as many credits invested in, tanks and ground attack or artillery. I think the artillery has been doing a lot of damage to this green team. Only one Bertha out on the field for the green team. Sporicle now finally responding to this. It's not really that detrimental. They only lost one moneymaker. They really need to rebuild it though. Who has the moneymaker? Sporicle does have the moneymaker. So is he rebuilding? No, he's just continually bombing. So let's see if this can actually work out for him. He doesn't get killed. Man, that was a lot of damage that went down on him though. There's a lot of Seekers on the red side. What he can do? Oh, and the Hellstorm hat does kill Sporefreak. But what he can do, where's Housekeeping going? Housekeeping going with more Flamers. Is this defended? It's kind of defended, really. Okay, he does drop it on the empty side, so that's a great thing. He does drop. He doesn't spam his rockets, but Sporicle now Flamers of his own. Do they have anything in queue? Yes, they have one Gemini in queue and a lot more Flamers coming out as well, but they have not been able to take this outpost under the control. Sporefreak now is attacking. Oh, but the red team has moved in. They will be able to take this bottom outpost. Lots of tanks, not enough green defense, but the green team now has this outpost under the control. Do they have enough tanks to be able to keep it secure? They have one Gemini down. They have a lot more Flamers coming out, but I don't know if Gundam is firing in. There's only 2 bulbs up left. This is the last chance that the green team has to hold this position, and that is it. It does go down to neutral, and the green team has lost this outpost, and they have lost their bottom as well. The tanks are moving all the way to the green fort. Will the green team notice this? Sporicle does notice that the bottom right outpost is no longer under their control. It's completely surrounded by red units, and what will the red team do at this point? Their tanks are continuing to the center because they were set on capture, so they weren't going for the fort. But we do have Sporefreak here on the corner with a Gemini, and Sporicle just trying to take out the tech bot. Oh, really low on health. Does not try to commit and try to get it killed. But Housekeeping now saving his lunchbox. Housekeeping might be able to save. Okay, not able to take out Sporefreak on the way out. But we do have Housekeeping dealing with the rest of these red units that are stray, and we do have Sporicle. Oh, Sporicle getting finished off in the air by Sporefreak, trying to bomb down the units over there, and Housekeeping just trying to drop creeps. Yeah, it's definitely at this point they are gonna start to do some desperation moves. Definitely something that you have to do when you are behind, especially against a team that is competent enough to hold their positions. Like Sporefreak and Gundam definitely can hold. They have quite a lot of units over here. And now Housekeeping and Sporicle going for top, but they really need to concentrate on either making a defense right here or right here at the fort, because the next move for the red team is pretty obvious that they will either go for this outpost from the bottom or go straight for the fort pressure. And right now they are just building up tanks, slowly getting toward their their unit cap, and Sporefreak does catch this top attack. So now he's starting to bomb down those units that Housekeeping has ferried over. Housekeeping does get back to that outpost before he gets killed, and we also do have Sporicle. Oh, trying to kill a tech pod. Will he be able to get it? This tech pod's not even smoking black yet. Bombs don't really do that much damage. What they are good at is AoE. There is one Aegis down here. Oh, but he does finish off the tech pod, and a lot of contesting red units over here for the green team. So I don't think the green team's really going to be able to do that much for this top fight, especially because only Housekeeping is over here, and we don't have Sporicle here to support. A lot of the green units have gone down. The red units have gone down, yes, but the red team is the one at a dramatic advantage. Gundam going down to a Gemini fire, but will this be enough? The green team will probably be able to take this bottom outpost eventually, but look at the upkeep difference. It's 58 to 24, and sporefreak keeping the pressure on the fort by dropping a Gemini. Will he be able to survive this attack? That Helix is attacking him and will probably get finished off here in the retreat. Oh, yes, he does get finished off. Wow, Housekeeping in that Helix, able to dogfight and get that kill on sporefreak, and he does drop the but Gundam does start the artillery fight. I don't know if you can call it an artillery fight, but he, puts an artillery down just so they have something contesting these green units over here, because they can't really afford to allocate the units, but I would say they definitely have enough to push this fort. The green team is going to be split in their fight between top and bottom, but getting this power station has allowed them to get a little bit of extra income and have a lot more unit upkeep. Unit cap, and at this point Gundam with 3 Dillos. Oh, and 2 Dillos at the bottom. I think that was a double drop. Was that Sporefreak? I don't know, but regardless, there are a lot of Dillos here, so a lot of life going down on the green team. About a quarter of their life is gone, and it's going down even further. I'd say it's about a third right now, and at this point I would have preferred to see the red team just sell off the Dillos, maybe get some heavier tanks like Gemini and Goalie, and then just start to push the fort, or push that bottom this outpost right here, because just doing a quick scout, you can pretty much see this isn't really that defended. It's just bunkered infantry, 2 tanks, and this is these defensive tanks weren't even there before. But the red team, actually able to kill quite a lot of units down here. Sporicle trying to do what he can with bombs, but it's definitely not gonna get him that far. And the red team actually has been able to gain the advantage in this top fight. So just one more outpost to go. After they take this one, which is going to be the center close, and the green team is so behind on income at this point. They haven't even rebuilt their moneymakers. Definitely something you want to prioritize on. Sporicle actually getting killed after his bombing run down here. Housekeeping gonna drop some creeps, but does not stay to support them. Probably a good decision, because there were so many seekers in the area, and I say so many, but what I really mean is 2 on one side. But the green team definitely way behind, only 1 outpost under their control. And the red team just starting to mass up units. Now they are starting to push out. Only 1 goalie leading the charge, which is a little surprising to see, but they definitely need to support this if they are actually going to go in for the kill. Oh, they're going for the last outpost. They are not going in for the kill at this point. They're just going to go for an outpost attack and try to go for a capture. It is supported by artillery, but it's kind of a poorly dropped artillery blocking these Gemini, and could be placed somewhere over here or something like that. Definitely going to be out of the range of these Gemini, but this is almost definitely going to be enough to neutralize and get a good surround on this outpost. Sporefreak going with his whirlwind, but Sporicle as well. They both do have level 7 and the ultimate ability already upgraded. The red team has been able to neutralize this outpost, has a fair surround. They have the units where they count. However, this one Gemini is attacking the ratchets, but they definitely have enough under their control to be able to secure this bottom outpost, or this center close on the right side of the map, that outpost. And now they are dominating because they have been able to take every single outpost under the control. The green team will slowly take damage, but to be honest, they didn't really even need that. The red team can just pretty much push out even further. They didn't even use all of their tanks. It's really interesting that how they didn't really go that all in. They had quite a lot of units everywhere else, and we do have kind of a last-minute ditch effort drop by Sporicle with a Longhorn. Does get immediately blocked by a Gemini by, I think that was Sporefreak. And at this point, the red team can just pretty much wait for victory. That's why the green team, you do see the green team dropping, because that is really, really urgent. But as you can see, the force field has been changed on these forts, so you can't really drop right up against this corner anymore. So every drop that's dropped here at the fort, any tank or anything like that that's dropped, can easily be blocked because you cannot get them right up against that fort. Which is, I would say that it's a good thing that tank Tetris is not really that is not that important, because you can just start to drop a couple of units over here and it won't be that hard to block. But it does look like the red team is moving in for the kill. That's a lot of tanks, and at this point, even if the green team had a huge influx of income and even a huge influx of tanks, this is going to be it. The team Fabulous Someone will be able to get this win over Sporicle and Housekeeping. Team Drunks in action. And there you go. GG's dropped down, and the green team has been able, or the red team has been able to take it. Sporefreak and Gundam moving on to the round of 16 over Sporicle and Housekeeping. Stay tuned for the next round.